Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name's John. If you didn't know that already, you probably did. I'm gonna say it anyway. Today we are talking about a product that I spoke about before on my channel, the Earth ND filters. And the reason I'm talking about this today is because I recently had some contact with them about their ND filters. There was something sort of strange going on that didn't line up with something they said on their website. So I'd say if you're planning on buying an ND filter from Earth, this is some information that'd be worth knowing. Let's get into it. First off, you're probably wondering, why am I talking about the Earth ND filter again? I already did a video on this previously. Technically, this is not the exact same one, but we'll get into why it's not. This is still a 49mm one, same as the old one, because that's what fits on my lens. But in my video previously, I talked about the variable ND filter. Now, this is not a variable one. This is an ND64 one. The reason why I'm talking about Earth today and this product is because they sent me this for free. And see, one of the things I really love about Earth is they have a lifetime warranty on their products. So if something gets screwed up, is faulty or not right, they're gonna replace it straight away for you. And that's the thing, that's where this came in. The reason I got this for free is because it was kind of a replacement for the variable ND filter that I had before. Now you're probably wondering, why did I get a replacement for the variable ND filter? There was nothing really wrong with it. Nothing ever happened to it, it wasn't faulty. Why do I have this? Now here's the interesting part. Someone on YouTube commented on my video asking me about the vignetting on the ND filter. I don't have the comment in front of me, but I think they just asked me if it was bad or good or how much there was. Straight away I thought to myself, there's definitely some vignetting on my photos or videos when I use the filter, but not a crazy amount. But just to be sure of my response, I went to Earth's website and did some research on their ND filters. They had written something there on their website that I didn't expect to find. I'll pop it up right here on the screen for you. It says, no vignetting and made for wide angle lenses. Immediately I thought that makes no sense because my lens that I always use is wide angle. Why is there vignetting occurring? So this is what prompted me to start contacting Earth. I messaged them about the variable ND filter and I said, guys, I use a wide angle lens and I'm getting vignetting. What's going on? And I sent them sample photos to show them the vignetting that was occurring. Now here's what they said back to me. I've got the email on my phone right here. They said, our product specialists have tested the variable ND filter on a variety of lenses, and they've not encountered any vignetting. It appears that the vignetting issue is caused by the lens you were using. Sorry about the lighting change, I just had to quickly go do something, and then my light source over here, which was the sun, is now gone, so I had to move my light in front of me. Anyway, let's quickly continue with that email. There's one other thing that they said to me. They said, variable ND filters, if used with very wide angle lenses, the X effect may occur above f9, so aperture stop 9. Let's note two things about that statement here. Number one, no X effect ever occurred on the variable ND filter above or below f9. And number two, this may be my own issue and maybe someone else knows the answer to this. If you do, leave a comment and I would love to hear an explanation, because I couldn't find any information online about this. But what does above f9 actually mean? I don't know why, but a part of my brain wants to say above f9 is any aperture stop that is a lower number than f9. That makes it above, based on the fact that it's a wider open aperture. That's the only explanation I could say why above would mean a lower aperture number. Anyway, that's slightly besides the point. The X effect never occurred on my variable ND filter, only the vignetting around the corners. Then I said, as far as I'm aware, Earth doesn't list specifically compatible or incompatible lenses for their ND filters on their website, which makes sense considering I basically purchased an incompatible ND filter for my lens, which I wouldn't have done if there was a list of compatible lenses for the filters. They responded to that. Very brief, concise response, but they said, unfortunately, we don't have the list of lenses that variable ND filters do or do not support. So that was both the issue that I brought up that I had with the variable ND filter and the information that I got from Earth about that situation. Now, as frustrating as that might sound if you were in my position, and you might be, maybe you bought one and you notice that you're getting vignetting on the corners, and that's definitely Earth's fault for not listing the compatible and incompatible lenses on their site for those ND filters that they sell. Here's the remedy, and here's one of the reasons why I really love this company. When stuff like this happens, they take full responsibility and they offer you something to remedy the situation. And in my case, after emailing them and talking to them about this, I was offered two things. Well, technically I had the choice of one or the other. Still, two options. One, they offered me to fully refund me for that purchase, and then I could go and buy anything else I wanted anywhere else. Wasn't store credit, it was just a full refund. But the second thing they offered me was a replacement of sorts, and obviously not in the traditional sense of getting the exact same thing back. What they did offer me was this, the 64ND filter. This is the 6-stop filter, and it's not variable, so it should not produce any sort of vignetting. Now I'm gonna unbox this in just a second. I'll do some photos, put them up in the video, so you can see if there's actually any vignetting with this non-variable ND filter. But there's one final thing I want to mention from the email that they sent me. When they offered me the replacement for the 64ND filter, they specifically stated to me that it was compatible with my Sony a7C camera, which is what I was using before this ZVE1, which I love, and my 24mm 2.8G lens, which is the one I have right now that I'm using, that I use all the time. That's just interesting in the fact that they know this ND filter is compatible with this lens and this camera apparently, or well, the old camera. If they don't have a list of compatible and incompatible products with products, how do they know that it's compatible? Definitely. Confounding. Anyway, let's get to the unboxing and get to some photos. So while my shirt can still handle this microphone sitting there, it's not going to pull it all the way down. Let's unbox the Earth 64ND filter, 49mm, 6-stop. It's a lens filter plus. Let's go. Easy pull tab on the back to unbox, to open. I was gonna say unopen. That's weird. Doesn't make sense. Rip that off. And the sides break open as well. Right there. That. Same for this side. Well, that one didn't work too well, did it? One of the nice things is when they give you a new box, or when you get your new box, you can plant 5 more trees by putting the code in that they give you here. I'm gonna put that in now. Well, actually, I'm gonna put that in after I open this. Focus, John, focus. Comes in a nice little case thing that easily collects your fingerprints. I don't know why people care so much about fingerprint collecting things. It's not that big a deal. I don't know if any of you other tech people out there follow or watch MKBHD, Marques Brownlee. But if you do, you know that he always complains about fingerprints. He always talks about that. That's one of his most hated things, I think. It really shows in his videos. So what does it come with? Oh, this is interesting. It came with a cloth, a microfiber cloth. But the other ones I've purchased and received, the microfiber cloth was inside the little container here. So let's open it up and see what it has inside. Oh, no cloth. Okay, am I just imagining things? I swear last time it came the cloth inside. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know. Anyway, this 49mm 64ND filter. There we are. That's it. That's the thing. If we put it on, am I going to be very dark? Yes, I am. That makes a lot of sense. You know what? Let's just put it on and see how I look without changing any settings. My camera's on ISO auto. That's the only thing that's on auto. Let's give it a try. Hello. I'm so dark. This is on the max second base ISO for the ZVE1. We're in 12,800 ISO. Wide open aperture, and I don't know how dark I am really. In reality, it looks like I'm pretty dark. My monitor shows me as just grayed out, basically. I'm still visible, but grayed out. Anyway, let's take that off. All right, so in comparison to the variable one, this is a lot thinner, a lot lighter. Obviously, it has no moving parts. It's easier to install and use because you literally don't have to think about it. Honestly, those are the types of products that I prefer, things that I don't have to think about. That's one reason why I bought the ZVE1. That's one reason why I bought the Rode Wireless Pro. That's one of the reasons why I only use a prime lens, because I don't have to think about it. I just put it on. I don't have to consider zooming in or out. I don't have to do any of that. I just want to straight away film and then be done. Take photos, be done. So I put things on auto sometimes. I don't use intelligent auto because it's not quite there yet in terms of usability for video. in particular, but still I like automatic settings. This makes it a lot easier. It's much simpler. Just a quick little basic tip from me. If you want to take your microfiber cloth that you get from them with you, it's super easy to just put it in to the case with the filter on top like that in a square. That's how I carried my variable ND filter as well. Just put it on top, screws up nicely. That's it. It's there ready for you. It's also another layer of protection, which you don't really need because you've got this, but hey, it's in there. Now you don't need to find a spot for it somewhere else in your bag. And just for ultimate clarification, this video is going to be in 3 parts. We've covered the first 2 parts. We're about to enter part 3, which is direct comparison between the variable ND filter and the 64 ND filter. So let's show them back to back, side by side. You'll be able to see the differences in vignetting. And this is past John talking now, where I haven't seen the photos yet of the 64 ND filter. So let's move on to part 3 and find out together if it creates a good shot or still has an issue with my lens. Now I'm in my editing room, which is my living room, and here's a direct comparison between the no filter image and an image with the ND64 on. You can let me know what you think, but in my opinion, I'm noticing 2 things. If I'm not imagining this, I am seeing the slightest ever vignetting on the ND64, just around the edges like the far left and right of the frame. The other thing I'm noticing is that there's a lot more noise in the ND filter image, but that was actually due to the settings I had on my camera at the time, and not caused by the ND filter. Just for an ultimate comparison, let's take a look at the variable ND filter that I have as well. So what you're seeing is 3 photos taken in succession at different ND levels on the variable filter. The lightest one of the images, which is the first one, is at the lowest ND of 8 on the variable filter. Then I just ramped it up to medium, then high, I think all the way to 128. It got pretty dark with some significant vignetting. Now let's take a quick look at the original with no filter and compare it back and forth directly to the 64 ND. And then direct comparison between the variable and the 64. And with this comparison, I don't know about you, but it really seems like the variable 64 ND version has a bit more darkness in the corners and the edges compared to the quote-unquote prime ND64. That's it from me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.